What's up, everybody? Welcome to Hot Book Alert Live. I'm the main man, Mercenaut. Uh, with me is my partner, Mr. Longshort. He has a con story that I told him to wait till the show starts before he tells it. So I can't. I'm looking forward to hearing Ben's story at the convention. It might be similar to my own that I had last week. My experience that I had last week. So I'm looking forward to it. How you doing, Ben?
It's not that interesting. It's not that interesting. There's a show comes around once a year, about 35, 40 minutes from where I live, and I'd gone a couple years ago. I did really well. There were a lot of vendors there.
Yeah.
So I show up to this one. Not nearly as many comic vendors. So I'm out there. I'm combing the floor. I'm looking at books. Came across a book I'd never seen before. I did a quick search on eBay. Couldn't find anything.
Right.
And I'm like, you know what? I'm going to pull the trigger on this thing because it's pretty cool looking. And so I pulled the trigger, and then whenever I put it away, I was pretty psyched about it. And then I continued to go digging. Pulled the trigger on a second book that I thought I got for a pretty good price. I don't want to say what, because we have people who watch the show who were there at the con. So I'll keep the books to myself, because this is me. This is nobody else. Right? This is 100% on me. And listen, I'm the kind of buyer where I'm looking for 50-cent dollars at the most. You know what I mean? Like, if I'm going to buy a book, I want to get it for half a fair value, right? That's the kind of way that I dig.
Yeah.
Anyways, I grabbed this one. Looked nice, crisp and clean. Get home, I was kind of happy about that. And then I'm taking a look, and there's a little crease in the. I'm like, how the fuck did I miss that? And so I'm just kind of like kicking myself. And then there was one other book I grabbed towards the end on the way out, and it was kind of an impulse buy, and I didn't even look it up. It's like, you know what, this has got to be a fair deal, and nope, above fair market value as well. So 4 books I bought, probably dropped $100, probably paid above asking on every damn one of them. Now, the only thing that I got, I didn't spend as much time in the dollar bins, which shame on me. That's where I live.
Yeah.
But I did find this Turner in this newsstand in the dollar bin for $1. So
Okay.
I leave there with this newsie. And I remember there was a big time YouTuber who gave me shit when I said I pull not even the newsies, just these Turner Superman and Supergirls out of the dollar bin. But he's like, you're out of your mind. It's like, those are not in dollar bins. He made a big deal about it. And every time I find a newsie, I just like to say, hello, Mr. Muscle Man. This one's for you. Anyways,
Mr. Muscle Man, that sounds like somebody. It sounds like somebody. What is is it the same guy that I'm thinking?
You're probably thinking of the same guy. Yeah, I remember him talking about these books. I'm like, I pull this out of the dollar bins all the time, and he got very, very, very defensive about that. He's like, no, you don't. These books are not in dollar bins. I'm like, dude.
Yeah, they're in dollar bins. I see them in dollar bins. What are you talking about? Lord Tatman's Comics, super chat. Yo, what's up? Thank you so much. What's happening? You know what? I never got all this week. It's like I started on watching Trash Cast, and then I got called away, and then I couldn't see if you were in the chat there. So I might have to do a rewind. You know what I'm saying?
Tatman back with the $2.
Yeah, man, your ears are burning. What's up, man? Yeah, and even Saturday, because I had to work today. I had to work this morning, so I couldn't watch last night's because I had to go to bed early. So it's just like this week was a mess, and last week was a mess. This weekend was a mess. Next weekend is a mess because we have SummerSlam coming on the August 2nd, and that's the same weekend as a convention. So, and Dino is going to be coming up, and so I gotta basically clean up. I gotta clean up. There's a lot of cat hair around here, but yeah. So I'm spending the week just straightening up and crap like that. So, oh, you're always in the trash chat. Okay, all right. I'm sure EVS I'm sure EVS appreciates that. But yeah. So I think I kind of had like a similar experience at a con where this was like last weekend, where I found where the one seller had a bunch of $2 books, really good stuff in the $2 bins. And then there were some other books that he's just like, make me an offer. and whenever that happens, I should know, don't even bother with those kinds of books.
Yeah.
And so I was just like, I found like some like $30 books, right? And he was like, oh, well, these are like 100 a piece. And I'm just like, Urgh. But the rest of the books, so I made him an offer like, I don't know, $75 on everything. And he was like, oh no, these I think it was like the Invincible Returns second prints, right? But those were but when I was looking them up, they were like 30 a piece, not 100. But so those were off the table. But the rest of the books, he was like, oh, I could do 100. And I just wasn't thinking. That shrewd mind just kind of zing,
Dude, it happens to the best of us, man. It just,
yeah. So I basically spent like $50 on $2 books and then $100 on like some shit that I already had. I was just like, damn it.
You take it home and you get like, the heebie-jeebies when you have one of those days, man.
Bro, I still like go. I still like every once in a while I just go like that. I just roll. I still do that. So yeah. I know how that feels. Okay, so as someone who is a frequent flyer, do you understand what happened this weekend with the ground flights?
Oh, I mean, it was CrowdStrike. I mean, that's just been, the airlines, were using that server stuff, and they basically all just shut it down. I don't know the specific mechanics, but basically their servers went offline, and there was, they couldn't get the flights in the air. So I was expecting to come into work and be like, everything shut down. But when I got in, it was fine. But the airlines got hit particularly hard. I don't know, man. It feels like we've got a big, it feels like we're stepping towards like a big outage here. Like we've had like cell phones go down. We've had servers. Like, are we inching towards a big blackout here at some point that's going to be real debilitating? I don't know, but yeah, that one really messed up the airlines for a while, big time.
Are they telegraphing something?
I don't know, man. I mean, it feels like something's coming, but who the hell knows? It's been kind of one after another all year long. So fingers crossed it's nothing. But just seems like, there's always something always sort of something new brewing out there. There's been a few hacks. There's been a number of cell outages. I mean, we're so reliant on this stuff. It won't take much to, tile our hands behind our backs. I'm like, all right, what do we do now?
You ain't lying. Okay, you know what? That brick Bradford. Do you remember last week we talked about the brick Bradford? Okay, so Lord Tatman here, he actually sent me the relisting of that book that we did a countdown on.
I saw this thing got relisted. It came up on
yeah. So we got 20 minutes left. So we got
this is a regular feature on the show now.
We're on Brick Bradford watch. Jeez. And yeah, Tatman and I were just kind of going back and forth. And the end result is this guy's going to wind up getting kicked off of eBay because he only has like 63. So he only has 63 feedback. So, either the buyer flaked out, or I don't know. Maybe the seller just wasn't happy with the price and relisted. But
Yeah.
either way, it's going to be, I don't know.
Hopefully,
Where
was it last week? Wasn't it like 1,700? I forget.
I could have swore it was like $2,000 or something.
$2,000?
Yeah, I think it was like maybe. I want to say like 2,000, 25, maybe. That's what I was thinking.
I thought it was like 17 something, and we were all guessing it was going to be over $2,000 when it was done. I could be
okay.
I could be confusing that with something else.
They're pre-testing a nationwide blackout rifle. Listen, this has been the weirdest week in a while. So,
dude, I mean, one thing after another, man. Like I feel like we're living in a alternate timeline or something. I mean,
things used to be so simple. Can it be that it was all so simple then? Don't be scared, be prepared. Canadian survivalist, he knows what's up. You know what's up. You can't use it twice. That's for sure. Meet me over NY. Something coming. Yep. Meteor over NY. Oh yeah. Oh, okay. So yeah, it was 2,600.
2,600. All right.
Yeah. All right.
Well, this book's got some work to do to catch up with that. So
yeah, I have to imagine whoever buys this, and if it's under that 26, then it's a good deal. I have to imagine. But this is still a gorgeous book. But yeah. All right. Let's get into the slideshow. But I'm pretty sure there's something else I missed. Oh yeah. So I went to another like dollar sale. This was right before we did Long Story Short on Thursday. I didn't find too much, but I guess you got to get out there. Oh, and speaking of Marilyn Monroe, I did find. Let's see what I found. Personality Comics Monroe. So I'll show you what. So I saw this for $1.
Oh, nice.
And thinking that, because I could have swore this went for more. So there were like 3 copies there for $1. I'm just like, okay, fine. But I thought that because like some copies go for like 30. Or at least I thought they did. But I mean,
for $1, man, it's not the worst thing in the world, man.
Yeah. And I also found
I found that one a couple times. This is the one that I found that I'd never seen before.
Hold on. Let me beep 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 boop boop. Let me blow you.
Some wicked glare in this thing, but
yeah, the Monroe book, yeah.
But it comes with a poster and a trading card, and the poster is pretty racy. I mean, pretty racy. But that was one of the ones I overspent a little on. But it's damn cool.
Yeah. If I had seen that anywhere, that would have stopped me dead in my tracks.
Yeah, that was the same thing. I was like, the guy would not budge on it. He's a dealer who has everything. And I bought a lot from over the years. And he's like, I've never seen this book. I have no idea what it is. I've never seen it. I'm not letting it go for anything less than I'm asking. As honestly, I'm regretting even you, because I think he knows that I take good books off him. Like, I'm regretting talking to you about this right now. So either take it or I'm putting it away. And I took it and could have got it for a little bit less, but so be it.
I got you. But let's get into our hot book alert. Okay, so we have Startling Comics number 44 from 1947 from Better Publication. This is a Graham Ingalls cover. This is a beautiful sci-fi cover.
Yeah, this is perfect. This is damn perfect.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so the census on this is 29 total. Does that sound about right for a?
Yeah, I was thinking right in that sort of 20 range. Yeah, that's what I expect to see.
Mm-hmm. All right.
Almost half of them are 4.0s, so not quite.
Mm-hmm.
A third of them.
All right, so we had 2 sales this week, and they were both on the 18th. Okay, so we had a 3.0 that sold for $475, and then we had a 4.5 that sold for $687. I meant to pull that up. Hold on one second. All right, let's take.
I love these startling comic books, man. These are some of my favorites.
Mm-hmm. Okay, let's take a look at that 3.0 first. This is, I mean, this is still to me. This is still pretty solid for a 3.0. Yeah, you got that. You got the staining up the top, but that doesn't mean anything to me.
Yeah, it's not bad. It's not bad.
I'd like to see if oh wow, look. So we got the single staple and that's still attached.
Yeah, the wrap is all.
Yeah, the wrap is awful, but you know. To me, this is solid.
Yeah, yeah.
If I were grading this, I would have had this at like a 4.
You think? I wonder just how much they punished it for the water stain.
Mm-hmm. That's not bad. I'm not mad at this. Let's take a look at that 4.5. Okay. This one. Okay.
That's all messed up there.
I'm not a fan of like all this like tearing and
the colors on this one. I don't know if that's the way they took the picture or not, but the colors definitely look more vibrant on this one. That could just be a byproduct of how they snapped it.
Take a look at the back. Okay, so the single staple, it's really tough to get a read on if the staple it popped. You know what I mean?
I mean,
on this
4.5, a pop staple. I mean, at 4.5 would be generous, I think.
Okay.
I've got one that a book looks like this with pop staple, and it got a 2.5.
Oh wow. Okay.
I would say similar quality.
Not
of this book, but of a.
Yeah. I don't know. I
think part of the issue is I don't think that's a very clear picture, because if you look at the label, it looks fuzzy, right? I think it translates to the rest of the book. So I think the guy he could have done himself some favors with a clearer picture.
Right. You know what? I think I'd be happy with either copy. Because
to have this book in the collection, man. I'd be
I'm feeling either copy. All right. Next up is Captain America Comics number 60 from 1947. So this is Sid Shore's cover. I'm not quite sure if we've ever talked about this book on the show. Do you remember?
I don't. We did a Sid Shore's cap before, I'm pretty sure, but it wasn't this one, although it had a similar vibe to it, I want to say.
But at any rate, we have another blonde in a red dress in peril. That seems to be the theme for the Golden Age.
They
I'm not
found a
mad.
formula that worked, man, and they just kept going with it.
All right. So we have 72 total on the census. Looks like, oh wow. So we have some 9 6s in here. A 9 4 and a 9 6, along with
That might be 2 each. That's 2 each.
yeah.
That's crazy.
Damn. Okay.
Yeah, I would love any cat book from this run. I would like to have this
Mm-hmm.
one included. Although there's a couple I've got my eyes on, but they are way out there right now. So
For whatever reason, this doesn't seem like a bad price.
yeah,
So
I was thinking the same thing.
so we've got 6.5 that sold. Oh, so we have a 6.5 that sold for $21.50. So I tell you what, let's take a look. Hello, everyone. Hello, world. But
Sure.
I'll tell you what, let's take a look at this book right here. Overall, it looks like a 6.5 to me.
Yeah, kind of on the nose.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so for a 6.5 for 2,100. If you see that at a con, what are you doing?
I'm probably saying no because I think the cat books that I've got my eye on probably not at 6.5s, like at 4.5s, probably go in that range.
Mm-hmm.
So if I were going to drop the 2,100, I'd probably drop down and get the ones that I really have my eye on. But I would definitely stop and take a look at this. No questions about it.
Yeah. Do you like the covers better on the ones that you have your eye on?
I like the covers better. There's something about the vibe to them. There's like 3 of them that are high on my list, but haven't found them. Well, obviously, a lot of these don't pop up very often, but when I've seen them, I haven't. They weren't at the price point I was willing to spend.
I got you. All right. So what are we doing next? All right. So we got another blonde in an orange dress this time. So we've got Planet Comics number 38 from 1945. Joe Doolin cover. Beautiful, beautiful sci-fi book. Wow, there's a 9.8 of this thing.
Come on, how is that possible?
It must be a pedigree or something. I don't know. But
I love all of these. I love all of these books. I mean, almost every one of them I would gladly own.
Do you see Planet Comics at all at shows or conventions?
Less and less as the years have gone on, to be honest with you. And when I do see them, they're usually really beat to shit.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so I actually know this seller, Pop Culture Comics in Pittsburgh. He actually puts on a show, I believe, like twice a year. And from what I've been there for, like, I think the first 2 times, and then I haven't had a chance to go back. But from what I understand, it's just growing and growing and growing. So yeah, but we had a raw copy that sold for $300. Okay. So this thing is kind of beat, and it's still sold for $300.
Yeah, man. That's a pretty decent sale, I think.
Mm-hmm. Strong.
What's the back look like? Whew.
Yeah, it's ate up, and it's still sold for $300.
Damn. Damn. All right. Well done.
Yeah. I actually saw Ken from Pop Culture Comics. He was at the he was actually at the Butler Toy Show last Saturday. He was set up there. But I didn't see this. I definitely would have taken a look at this if I had seen it.
Yeah, I always look at them, but this is kind of the condition that I see them in.
Mm-hmm.
Worse, honestly, a lot of the times.
Oh wow, look. I didn't know he was the two-headed monster was actually holding another chick. So we got two chicks on the cover there. Nice.
That's how you get $300.
Double your pleasure. But yeah, very respectable for $300. Great price. All right. Okay. So next up is Crime Suspense Stories, number 6 from 1951. So we have a noose broken neck cover. Let's see. Okay, so 80 on the censor. We have 598s on this book.
How? 5.
Huh. I'm thinking this is another Mile High situation. No, some more pedigrees and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, gotta be.
Let me try to pull up that listing. Okay, there we go. And okay, so we have a raw copy that sold for $650.
Man, the reds look nice on that.
Mm-hmm. This thing looks like a damn reprint.
Damn. What the fuck?
This thing is very clean. All right, get a nice overview. You can see that crease right there, which I don't care about.
Nope.
I mean, this is very solid.
I got to be honest. Like, I get this book, but this book doesn't do much for me personally.
Mm-hmm.
$650 isn't a bad price, but I would be out on it just because it just doesn't do enough for me. But
Yeah,
I get the appeal. I totally get the appeal.
it's in solid, very very solid shape, and sold for $650.
$650. Yeah.
Yeah, so it went for that price.
I can see it. I mean, it's a very clean book, man.
Mm-hmm. Man, I wonder, just like that, and with that Planet Comics. So if these had went to auction, would they have gone for more? I don't know.
The Planet. I think if the Planet was slabbed, even in the I think it might have gone for a little bit more. This one. I mean, auctions right now are all over the place. I don't know, man. I mean, in a normal environment, I think it would have, but right now I'm seeing books go sometimes for crazy low prices on auction. So
Yeah,
I don't know. In this market, I would not auction it right now in this market.
I hear you. Okay, next up, True Life Secrets, number 3 from 1951. So it's a photo cover. And I was on Go Collect and there's just nothing on it. So I had to actually look up the census on it. So there was only 2 on the census. So an 8.5 and a 4.5. I'm going to take a look at the listing. And Okay, so we had a CGC 4. So we had that 4.5 sell for $464 after 12 bids.
All right.
You like this?
Yeah, I would stop and take a look at this. I'm not sure I'd spend $450 on it, but I would definitely take a look at it.
Yeah, I'm thinking like, to me, this is like a solid like $100 book in my opinion.
Yeah, if you see it for that, you're.
Mm-hmm. It's a, so this is what is this considered like a gray tone?
Yeah, I mean, the image has been softened. I mean, it's a photo, but it looks like almost like it's been painted. You know?
Yeah, it's like they took the black and white photo and then just kind of colored over it. That's what it looks like. But this thing is really beautiful. Beautiful image. If this were like, I don't know, drawn.
Yeah, if this was Matt Baker.
Yeah.
Yeah, forget it. It's going for 5x.
Okay, so here's the back cover. Overview of that.
Curious to see what the 8.5 went for. So this one for $100 a point. Where did they?
How to hypnotize. So who's hypnotizing who here?
You have to read the book and find out.
I have to imagine it's the girl hypnotizing the guy just because. But yeah, beautiful cover. I like it. If I saw this at a show, this would definitely stop me in my tracks.
$16.25 for the Brick Bradford. It's a pretty good deal, man, for that book. That is a good looking comic book.
We're on Brick Bradford watch. Oh,
we'll be back next week to see where it sells again.
I know, right? It's going to be Lord Tatman is going to send me another message saying that that the seller relisted. So here's to hoping that this one sticks.
Listen, it's dropping $500 a show, so it's going to be $1,100 by next week.
I'm pretty much an open book. Hey, Joey Stuntmaster, what's happening? All right, so this sold for, let's see, hold on, let me see what else. Okay, so he has, oh wow, he's got a really nice looking Green Lantern.
Did we look at this book last week? This one looks familiar.
It kind of does. Is this Doiby Dickles? The sidekick there?
Yeah, Doiby Dickles.
Let's see what he sold.
26. Yeah, there it is. The same damn book.
Oh wow, yeah, man.
That's $1,000 it dropped. Damn.
Dang. So I got to imagine that the seller flaked out. If it went for this little, I mean, yeah, if it went for that little,
totally.
Damn.
Seller, instant regret, didn't come through.
Mm-hmm.
Negative feedback.
Right. Oh, I'm blocking that buyer. Screw that. All right. United States Marines #3 from 1943. So we have a flamethrower, World War II, Tojo cover, Craig Fussell cover art. Let's see. So after DC declared continuity old lantern, yeah, I can't buy. Yeah, man, they kind of they're ruining these characters, and it's just kind of hard to go back. I totally understand, but 91 total on the census. Um, a lot of them look to be in 7.0 range. You dig this cover just for historical purposes?
Yeah, it kind of falls into that camp for me. I don't love it. I don't love it, but I appreciate the history behind it, I guess.
Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah. So yeah, 300 after 12 bids.
I would have guessed more for this. I mean, that's pretty clean from the looks from here.
Very solid looking.
Yeah. Very.
And the back cover. Let's get an overview of the back cover there.
It's not bad. It's not perfect, but
I mean, it's what you expect for a golden ager, so
yeah,
still beautiful. And it looks like, okay, so I'm liking the staple. The staples haven't detached, so no centerfold detachments. So this is a very solid book, and it went for $300. So congratulations to the buyer. If you want a nice addition to your comic book room, you can pick up a real raw WD recruiting posters from many of the comic artists of that era. Okay. Yeah, that's a good point. Been following you since 2016. Though you've been moving away from picking up variant Myron Keys. Actually, no, I haven't. I'm at the point where I'm just doing what I've always done, which is buy books that I can find. You know what I mean? Whatever's collectible and whatever I can find and afford, that's what I've been after. You know what I mean? Like it could be a haul filled with Silver Age keys. It could be a haul of Golden Age keys, and be a haul of modern variants. It'd be a haul of dollar books. Like it's basically what I can find, and that's all. That's all I've ever, all I've ever picked up.
it's the only way to play the game, right? Is to go out there and just snag what you can get cheaply, right?
Yeah,
that's the way to build a badass collection over many years.
Yeah, exactly.
When everybody asks me, like, what are you looking for? Like the dealers, I'm like,
yeah,
I don't know. Whatever catches my eye, man.
I want what's collectible.
Yeah.
I want what everybody else wants, and I want what everybody is gonna want.
That's the trick. What are people gonna
want? He also makes a point. So many shops closing where I'm at. Yeah, man. Listen, there is a very, very, very sad story about a shop where the owner. I was just at this shop like just a few weeks ago, and the store owner died, and let's just say that he shouldn't have died. You know what I'm saying? So
it's sad, man.
Yeah, and it sucks because I was just at this store and I was just talking to him. You know what I'm saying? And I was over, and he had his friend with him, and she was, talking about her relationships and all that kind of stuff, and overhearing those two like interacting, and and it sucks. And now the store is closed indefinitely, and it's one less shop owner. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man, that sucks, man.
Yeah. So, but I know what you mean. U.S. Marines, 3 and a 5 so for 650. Okay. Stress. Yeah, man. Shortens one life. All right. Next up is Red Rider #1 from 1940. So I have to take it. This is the Red Rider from A Christmas Story.
Yeah, well, this is what inspired the Daisy air rifle, right? The Red Rider. Yeah.
I want the Red Rider with the clip. Oh, you shoot your eye out. Get out of here. All right, so we have 34 total on the census here. Majority of them look to be in the mid grade, and
$1,200. Wow, not bad.
yeah. I was kind of like, I mean, the cover in and of itself, to me, this isn't exciting to me, but the price is so damn like undeniable.
This is because of the Christmas Story, right? I mean, that's 100% why this thing's going for what it is.
Mm-hmm.
Thing is, like, it cemented itself in, Americana history. So I get it, but I agree. I mean, like half the cover is just like a snippet from the inside. It's just panels.
Yeah, exactly. But
There's
yeah,
the gun right there, man, right on the back. It's an ad
This is it right here. Nice. Okay, so I get it now. I totally get it now. And if you get this thing slabbed, holy crap!
First appearance of the Red Rider BB gun.
Hell yeah! This is pop culture at its finest.
You never made it through that movie, man. It plays on repeat Christmas morning in my house, at least for 2 or 3 times through.
Oh, hell yeah, for sure. Damn, this thing is really nice.
Yeah, this is sharp, man. I mean, I get why it went for so much.
Mm-hmm. And like, okay, so if you're at a show and somebody sees it, you're like, oh man, I love Christmas Story. And then you flip that book around and then you show them the ad for this. Oh my God, they'll flip out.
Man,
they'll trip out.
You want to know a funny story about the Christmas Story? So the author, so I grew up in Maine, and the author had a house up there, and and when he died, they sold it, and my best friend from high school's parents bought the house. And when they had the house, they went in there, and the BB gun was there, the lamp, with the leg, some other stuff from the movie, and they're like, "Holy shit!" They left it, and then like his kids or grandkids or something came back, and they realized it was there, and they came and took all. You can't have the stuff, and they took it.
Bro. There's something that had been done. Like we would have had to fortify the walls, do something, man. Damn.
Yeah.
Like if you leave that behind, like legally,
I don't know what it is. When you sell a house, I mean, there's things that are sold with it, things that aren't. I'm sure. I mean, listen, they're nice people. They're not going to put up a fight for it.
Yeah.
But, and I'm not sure they cared that much, other than they thought it was really cool.
Mm-hmm.
But I remember him telling me the story. This was like after we had, both had gone away from college. I hadn't seen him for a while. It's like my parents just bought a house up on, wherever. You won't believe it, whose house it was, and told me the whole story. So
the Christmas Story house is actually like a tourist stop.
Oh yeah, it's a big stop. Where is that? Is that in Ohio?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's right here in Cleveland.
Yeah, no, that's a big one.
Yeah, and there's and across the street is, so it's like you can't. It's like right across the street is the like gift shop, and I guess because maybe you can't.
Is the house owned? Is it like a tourist thing, or somebody actually living there and people just look at it from a distance?
It's a tourist thing because it's actually in a residential area.
Yeah, no, I can imagine that. I just you see those places sometimes, and somebody still lives in it, or sometimes it's just owned by the city, and they make money by giving tours and shit.
Yeah, I think someone does, like someone owns it privately, but but they're just kind of like making it like a tourist destination, and then they have like the little gift shop across the street. But I wanted to look up. Okay, Ben, this is all you. As a new comic book nerd, what's your best advice?
I mean, listen, there's a couple. I guess it depends on what your goals are, right? I mean, if you want to build a collection, right,
Mm-hmm.
find out what you're passionate about and go research it. For me, I'm not so into the most mainstream stuff. I appreciate it, but I'm looking for like what is the most scarce, rare shit you can find out there. That's the stuff that kind of gets me pumped up. So that's the
Mm-hmm.
kind of stuff that I hunt. But I would say a couple of things, like to build a good collection, don't pay market value for stuff. You got to go hunting for it. Now, if you're looking for like Hulk 181s and that kind of stuff, you're never going to find that stuff really at a big discount because, there's enough people who want it where, you're not going to just stumble across one most likely. But find out what you're passionate about to figure it out. And then just go hunting for it. Just always be, always have your radar up when you're out there digging, and just let books come to you. I guess that's the best way I say it. Like, I don't go looking for anything. I kind of let them find me. All right, you look through enough boxes, you're gonna find stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's two ways to do that. You know what other people want. You find it cheaply. You can buy it and sell it. Take that money to buy something that you want at closer to fair market value, because effectively you paid for it for a dollar to find. And then just know what you're looking for, and just constantly be looking for it. But I mean, you've got to, there's a couple of ways to do this hobby, right? I mean, if you enjoy the hunt, like really enjoy going out there and digging, just the act of the hunt is a lot of fun, right?
Yeah.
I mean, just, coming home from an afternoon digging and, hey, look what I found, right? All this stuff goes for a hell of a lot more than I found it for. That's pretty satisfying. And the stuff I like to hold on to, it's shit that maybe people don't care that much about, but means something to me. I was thinking today, probably one of my favorite books in my collection. I don't have it handy. I'd show it to you. It's Deadpool number 6596 newsstand.
Ah,
You never see that book in the newsstand. The first appearance of Outlaw. It's with him and the girl with the rabbit ears.
yeah.
And that was probably one of the books that got me into Deadpool way back when. And like I said, you never see a newsstand of that book ever. And to find it in 9.6, it's hard enough because it's an all black cover. Does anybody really give a shit about that book outside of a couple people? Probably not, but
I will say 10 years ago, I cared. I would here. My thing is just keep it organic. Start with reading comics first, and like whoever your favorite characters are, go after those key issues, and just let it build slowly. Because it's like you can't. I mean, listen. It took. So I started reading comics in 1991, and I didn't really become like an actual collector until 2012. You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So I mean, I would say just kind of let things happen.
Yeah, when I got back into it, I didn't collect either. Like when I was just reading trade paperbacks. I'd go buy the trade paperbacks and just read
Hmm.
those and stack those, and then I don't know. I forget how I fell exactly way back into it, but
Yeah.
came across some rare stuff, and the bug bites you, and the next thing you know, you're up to your neck in this stuff. But yeah, just find what you enjoy. And there's like 40 different lanes in the comic space, right? I mean, you can go down. So find the
And
one that works best for you.
yeah, because yeah, Deadpool 65. Yep, this one right here.
Yeah, one of my favorite covers, but I found it. I have a 9.6 newsstand. One of my favorite books in my collection. Like, you never see newsies of this book, and when you do, they're usually, they're lower grade.
Here's a 9.4 of
It's
this
not
thing.
it's not bad. I mean, that's a generous 9.4 by that look at that corner, but
Yep. Yeah, dude, this was like the hottest book like roughly, I want to say like roughly 10 years ago.
Yeah, it was all of these. I mean, I would say, I mean, this was the one, but actually all of the covers, these Udon covers were hot as hell.
Is Udon a person or is it a
It's an art
studio?
studio. So I mean, they're doing like mostly the Street Fighter stuff these days.
Yeah.
They did some other stuff for Marvel, but no, it's a studio. So it's not just one person.
Okay. But yeah, this was definitely the hottest book. Let's see. Purchase lots, you get a discount. Okay, so when I was at that dollar sale on Thursday, I mean, guys were coming out with stacks like this, but they were books that really weren't worth anything. They bought them just to read them.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So I'd just say, man, just be like, as far as comics go, be a reader first before you become like an actual collector. Collect a read and then take it from there. Pick your 9 favorite characters and buy quality over quantity. Yes. Get on your LCS call list. Many times when they buy collections, owners will buy them in a hurry and make some cash back. Let party go. And Udon. Did you? All right. Okay, so let's take a look at this book. I never thought this book would be on Hot Book Alert Live, but we have Chilling Adventures in Sorcery, number 3. So I think this is like Archie Comics.
Yeah.
Red Circle. It's like Archie.
I've got this thing somewhere.
So 3 9/8. And speaking of a 9/8, we had a CGC 9/8 that sold for $882. We're gonna round up. Now, a book like this, because I mean, there are plenty of like $20 copies of this book.
Yeah, this book is wonderful.
Are you paying up for a 9/8 for a book like this?
I'm not. And I would say that's my other thing when it comes to hobby. Grades don't impress me much. Like on certain books, maybe certain moderns that could be tricky, like higher. But I don't like this whole insanity of paying up for 9/9s blows my mind because I've said it time and time again. CGC is not that precise. I had sent in a UF4, right? I tell this goddamn story. Comes back in 8.5. I literally crack it that day and send it back. It comes back in 9.6. No press. So if that margin of error exists, like for me to pay a big premium, and I don't buy a ton of graded books unless it's something like that really kind of hits a note for me. I'm not paying up for it. Just that's not the way. Now I'm happy to sell it if I grade something again. I'm happy to get it out the door. But for me,
sure,
I am not. A high grade doesn't really necessarily move the needle for me. Now this is great. This is awesome, but I'm not paying up for that.
I can't believe it, man. I mean, like if you told me this thing was an 8.0, I'd be like, okay. It's just so hard to tell with like these much older books. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, okay. I'm not mad at it.
Well, next time I see one, I'm going to. I'm reasonably certain my copy is not anywhere near a 9.8, but I'll take a closer look next time. If I think it is, why not? $900.
Lord Tatman. I bought my first comic as a child, 1977. Marvel Team Up 63, and I've made lots of mistakes. Oh, you ain't lying, bro. I bought a Solar Man of the Valiant, Solar Man of the Atom back in 1994 for $40. I shelled that back when like when like all those Valiant #1s.
Dude, I think I spent either 40 or 50 for Harbinger #1 with the coupon back. It was the most money I'd ever spent on a comic in my life, right? Back in the day. I needed to have that book. And Well, you know how that story ended, but still have a soft spot for that book, though. Still have a very soft spot for that book.
Listen, I'm pretty sure I passed up like a Hulk 181 for like $50 to pay $40 for a damn Solar #1 from Valiant.
I still have my Solar #1. I don't have most of my mouth. I still have Solar somewhere.
I said, listen, I still love the book. Like, and I think that was the thing that just was, it made me just go, okay, we're done. We're done with comics. This is like around 93. And then by 94, I was just done. I was done. I was like burned out. And then I think 2002 rolled along. So this is like 8 year span where I wasn't buying comic books. And then 2002, like every once in a while I would read a Wizard magazine on the like on the newspaper on the newsstand rack.
Yeah.
And yeah, and it came out that Jim Lee was going to be doing Batman, and I'm just like, I'm back. I'm back.
That brought a lot of people back. So when I got out of college, what brought me back was Kevin Smith's Daredevil run. Like that thing grabbed me by the freaking the hair, and then Ultimate Spider-Man. Like I got hooked hard on Ultimate Spider-Man. That was that like early 2000s on that.
2000 exactly.
Yeah, I read every issue of that religiously up to issue like 100, and then kind of petered out on it. But yeah, those are the books that kind of got me back into the game a little bit.
Yeah. Okay. So it was Jim Lee's run on Batman, and then it jumped to Batman Superman.
Yeah, that run with McGinnis on the I love that run.
Yeah, because it's like I had never seen anything like it because the art was just
so electric.
Yeah. It was just something about it. It was like you could take a bite out of the out of that art.
Couldn't agree more, man. Couldn't agree more.
Yeah, and then I think I became like more of a DC reader. And then
that was my only window of reading DC. I was always a Marvel guy, but that Jim Lee's Batman, Superman, like I read that stuff.
And then there was like a bunch of crossovers and
Turner's Superman.
Like, God, yeah. Oh my God, how can I forget that? Yeah, Turner's run on Superman, Batman, and then you had Superman for Tomorrow, which was not that good. That was awful. That was really bad.
Yeah, I couldn't get into that.
Yeah, Jim Lee doing Superman. That seems like a slam dunk, but the writing was just so terrible. It was so dry. But I can talk about that. I can talk about comics like that all day. All right. Next up on the slideshow is, so we've got House of Mystery #1 from 1951. Lord Tapman, first year of Valiant. Those early issues were selling for a lot. Hell yeah. I remember buying Exo Manowar #1 and not really thinking anything of it. And that book was like maybe like a $30 book.
I was going to say, I remember buying that at the Radisson in Boston. It was the first con I ever went to. My parents brought me out of Boston, but they left me there for the day. I don't know what they did. They went around Boston, and it was on the wall, and I had probably $50 on me, and I dropped 30 on Exo Manowar #1. Yep. I can picture the guy taking it off the wall like it was yesterday.
Oh my God. And just to think all the books that you passed 30 freaking years ago for $30. We've all done it. Let's see. Let's take a look at the census on this thing. 130. You know what? This is kind of a famous title. So you'd think the #1 of that would have more. Like I was thinking maybe I would think maybe 200.
Yeah, but was it famous at the time, or did it become famous later? Like, I mean, did these things all end up disappearing?
Mm-hmm.
Like, this is 1951. 138 is not terrible.
Yeah,
terrible number for a book this old.
All right, so we had a CGC 6.5 that sold for $2,000.
Phew.
I got into big trouble in 2013 with a lot of time on my hands. I rediscovered collecting after being gone since then. Wow. Wow. So that's damn near 20 years. You know what? Uh it's so funny because I got back into actually watching wrestling after 17 years of not watching it at all. So, and it's so funny, like with stuff that you were like really deep into, like you could take a long break from it and then pick up like you never.
The hooks just jump into that
Yeah.
soft flesh and just like you're back.
Hmm. Yeah, just like with comics, 8 years and then just got back into it like nothing changed. So I totally understand that. Nice 6.5. Oh, but you got like a little thing right there.
That doesn't bother me too much, to be honest.
Yeah. Do you like this book?
It's a good looking book. It's a good looking book. I'm not in the market for it personally,
Mhm.
but
For a steal, of course, but
yeah,
you know,
any book for a steal, man. It doesn't matter, right?
yeah, this book really doesn't do too much for me, but that price was just way too it was just way too nice to not talk about.
Yeah, it's a good looking book.
Yeah. All right. This book here. So we have Johnny Gets the World from 1965. So this is a promo comic to raise awareness about the
Indeed.
spread of venereal diseases. Uh, but okay, so when I came across this listing, I just looked at the art. I thought it was like maybe a romance comic or something like that, but technically, it kind of is.
Yeah, I mean Johnny's a romantic guy, but he he's spreading some stuff he probably shouldn't be. But
I know, right? All right, so there is a 9.8.
there's only 5 cut.
Yeah, 5 on the census, and so we had a raw copy that sold for $226. So let's take a look.
I would have bought it. I would have bought this. This is the kind of stupid thing that I would buy without thinking twice.
So it's a horizontal book.
Well, because Johnny naturally, he's always lying in bed.
I want to see where the itching begins. Okay. After a short wait, a friendly nurse asks him what childhood diseases he has had, why he thinks he may have why he may have syphilis and so on. Yikes! Yikes! I think Al Capone died of untreated syphilis. And it rots your brain out.
Can't let that stuff get the better of you, man.
Yikes. Then Johnny is given a short, painless examination by a sympathetic doctor. I know how it is. I know how pussy getting goes, Johnny. I'm with you, son. After a short wait, Johnny sees the doctor again. You do. Oh, geez. You do have syphilis, Johnny. This is a serious disease, and you're lucky to come. And you are, and you're lucky you came here in time. By giving you treatment, we'll be able to cure you and make you well again. But how? You know what? You know that pimple you had? Oh, geez. Down there for 3 weeks? That's where the syphilis germs entered your body. Yikes. The first sign of syphilis is usually a sore near your sex organs or on the lips or tongue. It's over, Johnny. The line from First Blood. It's over, Johnny. It's never over. Oh my gosh. So he's a Johnny is a super spreader. He ran into glory on the chick and Linda. Dude, this is too much. You want to make it. I didn't want to make it because of Ellen but Al had a thing for this Linda and couldn't chicken out on him. Oh wow, look at that. Johnny. Let's see. I'm going to see if we could read this. So me and Al kicked in for some beer and we went up, we danced and we drank the beer, too much of it, I guess. Anyway, pretty soon Al begins making out with Linda and the next thing I know, I'm on my own with Gloria. So there I was, half gassed and alone with a real ready chick. And well, you know how it goes. Damn. Mr. Kane, it kind of threw me when I found out Gloria had syphilis. She's really a nice kid. VD has no respect for niceness, Johnny. And anyone can get it. It's good or bad, rich or poor, young or old. Look at that smoking gun right there. Damn. VD is a very serious problem today, especially among teenagers. So many of them have it. It takes playing around with sex like fooling around with a loaded gun. The more people have intercourse with, the more chances you take of getting hit with the syphilis or gonorrhea. Yikes, bro. Oof. 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 Gotta hold that book like this. But yeah, bro, this is very heady subject matter, but still, this is cool.
I'm gonna have to keep my eyes open for one of these. This is too much.
I know, right? And the book is very clean.
Yeah, man. I'm not like Johnny.
Love this thing. Love it. Johnny gets the word. What did I say? The world? Johnny gets the word.
I found a promo comic. We covered a long story short about the dangers of glue sniffing. So if that's another one you want to read, then.
All right. I want to look at this. So this is a missed book alert. So this is a book that sold weeks previous, but I just missed it. So it's not necessarily from this week, but from like maybe a week ago, maybe even a couple months ago. But I think it's interesting enough to talk about. So this is Dungeons and Dragons number 13. So this is a 1 in 10 Steve Ellis variant. And what does this look like to you? Does this look like Wolverine 1 or does it look like Hulk 340?
1. I mean, it's got the finger, that's what I see. I see Wolverine 1 on this one.
Okay. All right. So there's 3 total on the census. All right. So you got a 9.8, a 9.6, and a 9.4. So only 3 on the census. And if you take a look, so they have the one that sold on July 7th for 100. So that was best offer. So that sold for 100. And then you have one that sold for 120. And then you had that 9.8 that sold for 150. That looks like a damn good deal, seeing as how those sold for 100.
Big time. Yeah, that 9.8 seems like a steal.
Clean that cooch, no lies there. Yeah,
Yeah, IDW 1 in 10s
Mhm.
for issue number 13. Not going to be an easy book to find.
I
Not
don't.
going to be an easy book.
Is this a long story short book?
Yeah, big time. We should put it on the show.
Okay.
Remind me about it. We're off this week because all those guys are at Comic-Con, but
Mhm.
following week we can talk about it.
But yeah, this is damn, I would love to see what this 9.8 really goes for.
Yeah, yep.
This looks like this looks like a monster deal. Whoever bought that, because it's like they bought it, and then like a couple months later, you have this one in June that sells for 120, and then you had another one that sells for 100. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I would really like to see what this 9.8 really goes for. So Wolverine 1 and Hulk 340 combined. Yes, that's what I'm thinking. Okay. Up next is another variant that is really obscure, like really obscure. So we have Shinobi #1 from 2002. I'm not quite sure if this is like a ratio or not, or just like a limited.
2002, I don't think they were doing ratio. I don't think that
Mhm.
that had broken until like 2008 from
Yeah.
anybody really.
Now they call this an exclusive variant, and I'm like, what is this exclusive to? Because I tried to like do the research on this, and I couldn't find a damn thing.
Yeah, I've seen this book before. This is a really tough book.
What do you know about it?
I don't know a whole hell of a lot other
Mhm.
than well, I like that game Shinobi growing up. But I forget where I saw this book sell for big bucks. But I don't know. Yeah, I don't. It's like, Marvel used to do those limited books, right?
Mhm.
They never told you what they were limited to. It just feels like one of those.
Yeah, and I'm not quite sure how you got it. So okay, it's an exclusive. How do you get it? Do you send in box tops? Is it like did you have to go to GameStop? You know, nothing. There's nothing, no info on this at all. And the census. So we have 298s, 180, and a signature series 96. So 4 copies total on the census. And then you had 2 sales this week. We had a lower grade copy that sold for like $34. And then you had a higher grade, which was a VF, that sold for 105. So I let me see if maybe I didn't look close enough at the listing. Exclusive limited cover. No real info. But yeah. This thing sold for. Is this another long story short book?
Yeah, I almost feel like I need to credit somebody else on this book. I'm trying to remember where I saw this book. I've seen this book somewhere before.
Because I know the regular cover of this really doesn't go for anything.
Yeah. This thing is much harder to find.
Mm-hmm. But yeah, man, if you keep your eyes peeled for this.
We'll do some digging on it. I'll see if I can.
Okay, cool. All right, next up is a Jim Lee cover. So we have EverQuest Ruins of Canark from 2002, another 2002 book. We have a modern bondage cover. And let's see. So 39 total on the census with 17 9/8s, 3 signature series 9/8s. And we had a lot of sales this week. So $55, $22, $20, $27, or 28. Not like super high grade. I mean, like super high sales, but
No, this is a great book.
Yeah.
This was a long story short book way back. I forget.
Mhm.
You might have told us to put this one on Carter. I don't remember.
I believe so.
But yeah, I've always liked this book. It's a good pickup. This is the kind of book you can find digging. It's not on every dealer's radar
Right.
for a good price. Come home feeling good about yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, just it's a lot of sales for a week.
Yeah.
Within 2 days. So I wonder what was going on. Like maybe a show talked about it, or I don't know.
Is Jim Lee signing anything coming up? Maybe.
Oh crap! He's gonna be at Comic-Con.
San Diego, right?
Yeah.
Charging big bucks for sketches.
20 grand. All right. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man number 648. So this is a 1 in 1. I think this is a 1 in 100.
Yeah.
It is? Okay. Oh, damn. I should have bought this. Okay. So I saw this book, I want to say 8 years ago, and it was up on somebody's wall for $150. And I should have bought this. But so and I didn't realize this was a 1 in 100.
But they use every time there's another book where they use the exact same art. And every time I see it, I'm like, I stop seeing my tracks. Like, I always think it's this book.
Mm-hmm.
I can't think of what it is.
I want to say Spider-Man Saga.
Yes, that's right.
Spider-Man Saga number 1. Let's take a look. Let's see if we're right. Okay, here we go. This is it. Yeah, and I thought, like, okay, if that book can be expensive, how this book can be expensive too. And
no such luck.
Not at all. People want the original. But yeah. Okay, so let's see the census. 94 total on the census. And the price $900 for a raw copy.
Bananas.
Damn. Not too much I really wanted. Well, let's tell you what. Let's take a look. Let's see if this thing is worth $900. Because I have to imagine someone is thinking that they're going to get a 9.8 if they're willing to spend that much, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, he's going to be a Terrificon? No shit. I'm going. God, I mean, I can't afford one of his sketches, but that's crazy.
Where's Terrificon?
That's at Mohegan Sun in Connecticut.
All right, so let's see if this thing is 9.8 worthy. I mean, so far so good. They better package this thing up real nice. It's looking like a 9.8 so far.
Yeah, it's pretty clean.
Let's take a look at
sharp
the back.
corners.
Got like a little ripple effect. That really doesn't matter?
That's not that you can, when you press that, that'll be. This is where the rubber meets the road here in the back.
Oh, come on. Okay, it was taking forever. And you can see like the two little ticks right there.
Well, it shouldn't be an issue though.
Yeah. Let's see if we can. Okay.
I mean, it depends on the day. I mean, that I've sent plenty of books in with that kind of little tears that don't.
Mm-hmm.
Just depends on how pissed off the creator is that day.
I'm
not dropping $900 on this book though.
That's for sure.
Even if it was guaranteed 9.8, I just don't.
Yeah.
And I know Campbell's hugely collectible. Like we talk about him on the show all the time,
Mm-hmm.
but I just, of his books, this doesn't even rank in the top 30.
You know, I just haven't seen this book in a while.
It's rare. I appreciate the scarcity of it, but
mm-hmm.
I mean, some of his Black Cat books, I mean, I want to be clear. There's nothing wrong with it, like at all.
Yeah.
I just at 900, it's like if I'm going to take a shot, I'm going to take it on something else.
Exactly. Let's see if there's actually any available.
I doubt it. This book is ghost worthy.
Yeah, the last time I checked, there was nothing. So, yeah, all you're getting is okay. So there is one, and they want $2,000, and then you have the sketches. Oh wow! So you got a 9.8 signature for that. They want like $6,000 for.
Wow.
So they want like really absurd prices for the color, and for okay. So it's weird that sometimes sketches go for a lot more, but but in this case, no.
What's the ratio on this sketch, though?
I believe this is a 1 in 100 too. Because that's why I was questioning whether the color was a 1 in 100.
Okay.
So in this listing it says 1 in 100. Exactly. You see anything?
I'm just taking a look, see what I can find.
Okay.
Yeah, it says they're both 1 in 100s, huh? All right.
And here's a 9.8. Look at that. Here's a 9.8 that is not showing up. Okay, so a 9.8 for $390 sketch cover.
Is the census count on these both the same? Roughly. I can pull it up. Hold on.
I can't imagine.
But why wouldn't they? They have a 1 in 100 Campbell. Like, why don't you just grading these if you haven't?
Yeah, exactly.
All right, so 94 for the color, which you had.
Mm-hmm.
And the black and white is... Where the hell are you? There you go. 187. That makes me believe that it's not a 1 in 100. It's twice as many. There's no reason why the black and white would be graded at a higher rate than the color if they were both 1 in 100s. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Yep. Yeah, this is weird. But you got this beautiful 9.8 at less than $400 or make an offer. So if you can't find the color one at a decent price, then here you go. All right. What's next? Static, number 45 from 1997. I have every issue of Static except this one.
This is a tough book.
Yeah, so we have the final issue. This is a Mobius cover. I think I might have spelled Mobius right. I hope so.
We're gonna go with it.
Okay, so we have 37 9/8, 135 total graded, and we had a raw copy that sold for $250. I mean, I see this up on walls, for that much, and I just can't do it.
Yeah, dude, that's a lot. I mean, this feels like the kind of book you should be able to find. Digging feels like that kind of book, but you never see it.
Like maybe like a grand opening of a shop or something like that.
Yeah, or just somebody, some of these dealers don't focus on books like this. They bought a new collection. They're looking to dump a bunch of books at $2 or $3 a piece.
Yeah,
right? Put those boxes out, you might find it there, but
I think the most I'm willing to go is like 70 like 75, maybe 100. Like if I saw it up on a wall and it's really, really nice, like maybe for 100. That's what I'm thinking. But don't quote me on that. I'd be like, oh, here you go. How much you want? 100. I'm like, ugh. So I don't know, but definitely not 250. All right. Monster Club number 1. So for this is a Scotty Young variant from AP Comics. So 2 on the census, a 9.6 and an 8.5. So this is from 2002. Early Scotty Young. And then we had a raw copy that sold for $225.
Yeah, man, these Scotty Youngs are very hard to find. I mean, I buy all the Monster Clubs I see.
Oh, okay.
But there's a cool bubblegum cover on one of them. But the Scotty Youngs for these are long gone.
I didn't know. Yeah, because I was going to ask you if you knew about Monster Club, because I know I didn't.
Yeah, no, I'm always looking for them, and there's a couple of others that are really good. But yeah, I buy them all. I've got a little stack just right over there
Okay.
of some, but there's no Scotty Youngs, but there's a lot of cover Bs and.
Do the other ones go for anything?
Not really, but I mean, it's a relatively low printed book. You know, it's what can be. I just, it's one of those things where these catch on. Next thing you know, people are buying the other ones for $15-$20. So it doesn't hurt to pick them up for $2 or $3.
Okay. Oh, damn! I could have talked about this one. This is a great looking cover. We'll talk.
Yeah,
we'll talk about.
That's the one. That's the one that I've been looking for.
Damn, that's a good one right there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice. All right. What's next? Deadpool. We're gonna jump on some Deadpool. We're gonna jump on the bandwagon here. Merc with a Mouth number 7. This is the regular cover. The Arthur Sidem, of course. First Lady Deadpool. There's a lot. There's just 199.
Yeah, I love this book. I love this cover. It's a Train Spotting homage.
Yep.
But the newsstand of this, I know there's the second print and the third print, but the newsstand of this one has been my want list for a long time.
There is a newsstand.
There is a newsie of this one. Yes, I've seen them sell.
Wow. How long ago? Do you remember?
I don't. I mean, my guess is that if you look it up in 130, it's probably not going to be. I mean, it wasn't within 3 months. I mean, it was a while ago.
Okay. Wow.
But there are newsstands of these. Yeah.
I can't even imagine.
You know what? Is there one? Is there someone on there? Someone asking $500 for? Or am I thinking of a different book?
I mean, okay, so when you try to type out newsstand, it finishes it for you. So let's see. Oh wow, look at that. Yeah, look at that.
Yeah.
Huh. So a 9.6 for $655 US. So
Fuck, there's one in Canada right now for $100. I'm fucking tempted to buy it. I've wanted a newsstand. $20 shipping. It fucking breaks the back on it. But yeah, I've wanted a newsie of that book for a long
time. I didn't even know this thing existed. Wow, look at that. Marvel Knights. Damn, man. So this looks like the version to get. Okay, sweet. I'm not mad at this. Okay, so let's just focus on a night because there's been plenty of sales for this week, last week. You know what I'm saying? You only live once. YOLO. YOLO.
Don't tempt me. I'm close enough, man.
Okay, so we had a 9.8 that sold this week for $430.
Yeah, it's respectable, man.
Yeah.
But when it turns out that it's Ryan Reynolds playing Lady Deadpool in there, people are gonna be pissed off. They're gonna want to dump these things.
It's like it's funny because I just sold like a set this weekend. So you had the regular cover, first print, second print, third print, and Lady Deadpool 1.
Oh,
I just
nice,
sold them.
damn.
Yeah,
But that must have gone for a pretty penny.
I mean, I just kind of like dipped my toe in the water because I sold my lower grade copies, just kind of just to see if
Yeah.
somebody bought it like that. So I still have like the higher grade set to
Yeah.
So I'm not quite sure if I'm just gonna hold on to them for collecting, for collecting purposes, or just unload them. Like this.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard to see them doing anything with the character, but you never
Mhm.
know. You never know.
Yeah.
If it is Taylor Swift, I mean, it's going to light a fire under them for sure.
Yeah.
It'll give it legs beyond the movie if it ends up being Taylor Swift in that mask.
So
It's either Ryan Reynolds or his wife. I can't see
Mhm.
it being anybody else. It's Ryan Reynolds punking us, or it's his wife. I think those are only two reasonable options.
well, either way, I'm gonna hold on to them until after I see the movie, and then I'll just figure out what's going on. Oh, so when are you gonna see the movie?
I already got tickets. I'm seeing it Friday night at like 7 o'clock or something like that.
I'm going to try to see it on Thursday, like the earliest screening possible, because I want to.
It looks
get
funny
it
as
out of the
hell.
way.
I mean,
Yeah,
Ryan Reynolds is about as smart and thoughtful about this stuff as anybody you're going to find. So I think it's going to break all R-rated movie records. But we'll see. I mean, pre-ticket sales are out of control. So
okay. All right, another Merc with a Mouth, number 7, the third print. Let's see, 224 total. What did I say? So 1,000 for the first print, and is this the first? Did I say? I think this is the second. Damn it! I believe this is the second.
Yeah, I think that's the second. It's the one where I was like just thinking when I saw it. I'm
Yeah.
like, oh, this the third is just like she's standing up or something.
Yeah, the third print has Captain. So this is a typo. Everybody, ignore third print. But so yeah, this is a second print. And so we had 2 9/8s that sold for $575 each, and there were two separate books.
Fucking hell.
Yeah.
Taylor playing Gwenpool. Don't get me started on Gwenpool.
I know, right? But yeah, just something to keep in mind. And Eternal Warrior number 5 from 2014. This is a David Mack variant. It seems like David Mack has like 1 year. I'm not mad at this cover, but it just seems, like the watercolor. I'd like to see him do like pencils and inks. You know what I'm saying?
He actually has done some different stuff. I'm trying to think what the books are. But yes, this is mostly what he does. But we might have to cover some of those books along. I'm trying to think what they are. But he does actually have more range than just this. But this is all you ever see him do, basically.
Yeah. I mean, it's pretty decent for what it is.
Yeah.
20 total. 798s, 198 signature series, and you had a 98 that sold for $375. I'm just surprised anybody was even thinking about this book. So, yeah, respectable. And I never see this because I remember this being on my want list. So when I saw it and when I saw the price for it, I was like, okay, not bad. Milo Manara, Black Widow #1, 1 in 100 variant from 2014. This is a book I never see. 99 total on the census.
Good looking book.
55.98. Yeah.
Yeah, I don't have this one, but I'm a big Black Widow collector,
Mm-hmm.
and it's been on the want list for far too long.
All right, let's take a look. So we had a raw copy that sold for $260.
Wow, not bad.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, Monera's stuff is just slowly ticking up in price. I mean, he had a bunch of these ratio variants, and they're all just steadily climbing.
And I believe this might be the last book. So we have Guardians of the Galaxy #5 from 2013. For whatever reason, I thought this was more recent than the Black Widow. But Angela variant 1 in 25, 170 total on the census. And we had multiple sales this week. So we had a 9.6 sell for 150.
This book still doesn't go for that much. I mean,
yeah,
it's the first full appearance of Angela, right? She shows up on the last page of what was that, like
Age of Ultron 10.
Yeah, number 10.
Yep.
The big spread. But and yes, there are variant covers, right, with her on the cover of that issue. So that kind of, but I mean, this is, by Marvel comic standards, like this is her first full appearance.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I always expected this book to be more, but it must have been heavily ordered, right? I mean, Guardians was pretty popular. This book, was probably heavily ordered, so there's plenty of them.
I'm kind of wondering what it was about this week, why we had like 3 different sales.
I mean, is he doing something? I mean, is he doing a CGC signing or? When you see that, sometimes it's just because the artist is, whatever.
Yeah. Interesting.
Good looking book.
Yeah. All right. So we are finito. Mama. Exactly. That's mama worthy. All right. Everyone, thank you guys for watching. You could be anywhere in the world, but you're here tonight with us. And are you going to be out of town?
I am. Yeah, I'm out of town. Middle of the week, like Wednesday, Thursday. Coming back on Friday. But I'll be back next week for the show. We had no long story short this week because Yi is going to be at San Diego Comic-Con, so we'll take the week off. But if you're doing the show next week, I'll be here.
All right, right on, man. And again, Lord Tatman's Comics, thank you for the super chats. And we will see you next week. And everyone, have a good week. And
I wish I was going to San Diego. Not this year. I talked about it, but didn't get my shit together. So at some point.
I don't know what it is. It seems like a logistical nightmare.
Yeah, I hear it, and I hear it's like it's an event, but not necessarily the best place if you want to go hunting for comic books. So, that keeps my motivation down a little bit. I mean, I still go to cons to look for books, right? That's why I'm there.
Exactly. So I'm like, maybe if it was toned down just a little bit, less celebrities, just more emphasis on books. Then
that's Terrificon. I am blown away by the number of vendors at this con at Mohegan Sun. Just blown away. There's a ton of artists, but there's so many comic book vendors, and I always find good shit there. I found 2 copies of Miracle Man #12 by Adam Hughes for $40 in back-to-back years. Like, I just find, like, I don't know why it's not being pulled by somebody else, but I tend to find good stuff.
Exactly. All
All right.
right. All right, everybody. Good night. And we will see you later.